Okay, here we are at Sheridan Mud Drags 2012 with I'm Jack Scott Jr. and this is my son Dylan Scott, and we're running a 1980 Toyota four-wheel drive short box with a 20R Toyota in it, and it's 90 horsepower stock, but we've built it up a little bit, and we're running. Well, they've put us in the road and trail class, which is some pretty beefed up V8s, not street legal rigs. And I run mine, tow my boat with this one. It's a daily driver, but there's some whiners out there about having some cuts on the back, some cut boggers, and I had a 60 shot of NOS in it, so I've moved it to a 80 shot that I brought with me to try and even the odds up against some of these 400 horsepower plus motors that I'm going to be racing. I'm somewhere between 210 and probably 240 horse. Well, make that 220 and 260 horse now. We'll see what happens. We'll get things warmed up and see if we can get enough heat in the bottle to get some power out of this thing, and we'll see what happens here in a little bit. All right, here we're getting ready to go. Got this, come on. The Sheridan Mud Drags for 2012 have come and gone, and I gotta tell you, I love racing. It's a blast. If you lose, well, it was still fun, but if you win, it makes it even funner. And this year, me and the Nitro Draggin here, we're in double eliminations, and the first run, my truck actually had a failure, and there's a little gremlin that once in a while pops up, and we have some engine misfire, and I got beat. Our second run, driver error, I missed a shift. Got beat again, so we put it on the wash rack, and we were done for the day. Needless to say, I was actually maybe slightly ahead of both my other opponents before we had the problems about mid-track. Regardless, like I said, I love racing and it was fun. I was glad to be there. But there is an issue that showed up, like I might have stated at the beginning of the tape, where I was put in a road and trail class, which is far above the scale that the little four-cylinder Toyota should be racing in. And I was told if I go to Willamina, I'm going straight to modified, which is even a class higher. So I'd like to address that issue of the tech sheet, which I think needs to have some real improvements made on it. Evidently there were a lot of people that were crying because last year I whooped up pretty hard on some V8s, some built V8s with my little four-cylinder. Of course, that statement of making me go modified is a compliment to me, because this little four-cylinder happened to be put in that kind of a class, and that's quite an achievement on my part to have built my truck to be so scary to those fellas with the V8s. But there needs to be some changes made with that tech sheet. One easy way, I think, to really settle the whole thing is that a four-cylinder race is nothing but a four-cylinder. In fact, let me back up. When I was told about all the people who were crying about me beating them, the V8s, I said there's nothing stopping them from getting a four-cylinder, putting some cuts on the back, some cut boggers. I don't have cuts on the front, and putting a little bit of nitrous on. I had a 60 shot of nitrous and beat them down. Well, I was told we don't want them doing that. Well, I've never in my life ever heard of anything that has to do with racing where you're discouraged from making your vehicle go faster. It just really floored me, that statement. So one of my proposals is going to be, let's let 4 cylinders race against 4 cylinders. It's basically a 4-cylinder open class. The biggest and the baddest of 4 cylinders will win, and that will promote other people to make their 4 cylinders faster. That's what racing's all about, is making your vehicle faster than other vehicles like yours, for one thing. 6-cylinder class needs to be racing 6 cylinders. No, there is no 4-cylinder being against a V8, or a 6-cylinder against a V8, or a 4-cylinder against a 6-cylinder. 4 cylinders race 4 cylinders. If you can't win, then you need to get out your pocketbook, spend the money like we have, do some research on how to build your rig, ask questions. We're willing to help you. It'll inspire competition. The crowd loves to see these nasty, mean little rigs just get it. And you know, I think that's really fair. Nobody's going to be complaining about a 4-cylinder beating a built V8. Same thing with a 6-cylinder. You guys race 6 cylinders only. You know, the nastier you get them, the better. Nobody can complain about being beat by another 6-cylinder. And of course, then your V8 class, you can just leave with the classes that you have and break those down as it gets wild and crazy to the open class. Real simple solution to all the whiners and criers that we have out there about getting beat down by a 4-cylinder. That's what racing's all about. It's making your rig go faster. You shouldn't be putting a 4-cylinder against V8s to start with. So just because you get beat by one, I think, you know, maybe you need to build your V8 a little bit more. But anyway, like I said, racing's fun. I love doing it. Me coming with a vehicle like this puts the tech guys in a really bad position, and I sympathize with them. So hopefully I can get with some of them guys, see if there's some sort of a remedy to the matter, like I've possibly suggested, because I don't want to be putting anybody in that kind of predicament, because how do you tech a truck like mine and make it fair for me and make it fair for them both, for the other drivers, and fair for the tech guy. Make it real simple, 4-cylinder races, 4-cylinder, get with it guys, get your stuff hopped up, because you're going to have to try to beat me. And the same with 6-cylinder, and you know, so on. So anyway, with that, you know, I hope we're able to keep racing in the future, and I look forward to it. Thank you all.